Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to see the part 3 of this discharge of contract chapter. Under this chapter we have still completed with the two videos, two parts. So we are going with the third part now. So before going with the third part, you please better go through the previous two videos, okay? With that you can get a clear idea. So okay, I will go with the introduction again now here. Okay, so we'll go with the introduction. Under the discharge of contract chapter, under the Indian Contract Act 1872, we are going to study discharge of contract. Under the discharge of contract, we have completed this four type of the discharges. Three types of the discharges, and now we are going with this another three type of the discharges. Okay, so I'll go with the introduction now. So, a contract is said to be discharged or terminated when the rights and obligations created by it are extinguished. What is the meaning of extinguished? Extinguished meaning means put to an end or coming to an end is called as extinguished. So, I written here, see, put to an end. Okay. So whenever the rights and obligations here means duties. So whenever the rights and obligations created between the parties, when the contract is made, that rights and obligations will come to an end when the contract is discharged. Okay, discharge here means coming to an end. Discharge here means cancellation or the termination of the contract. So whenever this discharge happens, whatever the rights and obligations created between the parties will also come to an end, because there is no contract, hence their rights and obligations will come to an end. So but that discharge may be happen in the many types. So that discharges we have completed up to three discharges here. Discharge by the agreement means by using the different types of the agreement, so how the contracts are created between the parties and how the rights and obligations between the parties can be come to an end by the agreement. That type of discharge we have seen in the video 1. And another one is discharge by the operation of the law, means whenever the law enters, how the discharge will happen, means how the contract will be get terminated. And by breach means non-performance. So all these three types have been covered in the two videos. Now we will go with this another three types of discharges. Okay, so this is a small introduction, and now we will going to start. Okay, so here discharge by the performance means whenever any contract created, see here, the performance of the contract is one of the usual mode of the discharge. The contract gets discharged on the performance of the obligations undertaken by the parties. Example, A to B sell at house. Okay, so whenever suppose there are the two parties are there, consider with the example A and B are the two parties. A want to sell his house to B. Okay, and B gives and B want to purchase that house. So A want to sell his house at 20 lakhs to B, and B also gives the amount of 20 lakhs to A and acquires the house and ownership of the house by taking the documents. So here A has completed his, means A has a right to take the amount of 20 lakhs, and B has the right to take the amount of B has the right to take the ownership of the house. So here both the parties are completing their rights. And what is the obligation here? The obligation of the A is to give the documents or ownership to the B. And what is the duty of the B here? B's duty is to give the or to pay the amount to the A. So both the rights and duties are completed between the parties. Means both the parties are performing their respective rights and obligations, whatever for which they are entered into the contract. So if the rights and obligations means both the parties are performing their respective rights and obligations, then the contracts comes to an end. So this is a general mode of the discharge. This is a normal, this is a basic one. This is a this is a common thing. Whenever a parties enter into contract, they mostly like to perform those obligations. If this type of discharge happened, then that discharge is called as a discharge by performance. Means by performing the contract, by performing the rights and obligations in the contract, the contract is coming to an end. Then that mean that coming to an end is called as a discharge by the performance. Okay, so this is the discharge by performance. The performance of contract is one of the usual mode of the discharge. The contract gets discharged on the performance of the obligation undertaken by the parties. Okay, so this is about discharge by performance. Next one, discharge by the impossibility means impossible. See here, impossibility means suppose if A and B are the two parties, they entered into contract that so okay, I'll read it this once. Impossibility of performance results in the discharge of the contract. Okay, an agreement which is impossible to perform is void. Means whatever the agreement created between the parties which is impossible, the subject matter or the object for which the agreement is created is impossible, then that agreement will become the void agreement, because that is not able to perform by the both the parties. Even they created the agreement knowing that that cannot be performed, then it becomes a void, because it cannot be performed, because does not compel to perform such things. Okay, impossibility known to the parties at the time of entering to the contract, existing at the time of the contract. So impossibility can be occurred in the two types. Means whenever the parties are entering into the contract, if they know that the impossibility is there in this, even knowing also they entered into contract, then that agreement will become the void. So what are the types? Impossibility existing at the time of the contract, at the time of formation of the contract. Means if A and B are the two parties, so under this existing also, we again they have divided into two parts, known to the parties, unknown to the parties. Okay, I think you got the meaning of the impossibility here. Impossibility means it is not possible to perform. So it is not even knowing this fact, the parties enters into the contract. So that is one type of thing. Means the impossibility existing at the time of formation of the contract. Under this impossibility only, under this discharge of impossibility, the two types have been divided. First one is existing at the time of the contract, or existing after the formation of the contract. Under the existing at the time of the contract, again that has been divided into two types, known to the parties, unknown to the parties. Means that impossibility is there, if like this is known to the parties, then that is one condition. If unknown to the parties, then that is one condition. So whenever at the time of impossibility known to the parties at the time of entering into the contract, means what impossibility existing at the time of the contract. For example, A and B are the two parties. A and B are promises and makes agreement that if A bring the treasure here means by magic, if A brings the treasure, then B will pay some amount to the A. Okay, so that bringing the treasure by magic is impossible, right? Okay, because no one can bring the treasure by magic. So even the parties know this at the time of making the contract. At the time of making the contract, even the parties know that this is impossible. Even though they makes that they makes the agreement, then it also consider it, then that agreement is void. Void agreements cannot be performed. Okay, so the why that agreement is becoming void, because that bringing treasure is also void. Okay, and next one is unknown to the parties. So whenever the impossibility is unknown, means they are innocently entered into the agreement, they don't know that that impossibility exists. So whenever it is unknown to the parties, a mutual mistake, that is a mutual mistake, because both the parties are not having idea. For example, here A selling and buying of the dyed horse. So consider the example here. A and B are the two parties. A want to sell his horse to B, and B also want to purchase such horse from the A. So these both the parties have entered into an agreement, and they created an agreement, but they don't know that whatever the horse these both the parties want to sell and purchase has been dyed. So if they don't know that, even not knowing they enter into an agreement, then that agreement cannot be performed. That performance of that agreement becomes impossible, because the horse is dyed. If the horse, if for which they have entered, that horse is dyed, so the A cannot sell that horse, and B cannot purchase that horse, because it is dyed. So whenever the contract, so if so here impossible is there, right? So like this, if here due to this impossibility, both the parties are unable to perform their obligations, so the contract will come to an end. So this is also one type of impossibility, discharge by the impossibility. So whatever the contracts or the agreements created between the parties coming to an end or discharging by impossibility, then it called as the discharge by the impossibility. So these impossibilities are existing at the time of the at the time of creating the formation of the contract. But impossibility arising, another type is there, impossibility arising subsequent to the formation of the contract. Subsequent means after, means after formation of the contract, if the impossibility exists, then it is also discharged by the impossibility. So under that there are some types, that is also called as the post contractual. Okay, post contractual impossibility means after creation of the contract, this impossibility has been coming into what come means we can know that, means we can, after creation of the contract, people the parties are getting to know that this contract cannot be performed, this contract is becoming impossible, then it called as a post contractual impossibility, or it is also called as the, it is famously called as a supervening impossibility. Means after creation of the contract, whatever the impossibility exists, then it is called as a supervening impossibility. So such contracts are void. Okay, and next one is under this, what are those contracts which are creating the impossibility after formation of the contract, that we are going to see now. First one is a distraction of the subject matter, music hall burnt. Okay, there is a case law called Taylor versus Caldwell. Caldwell. So in this case law, there is an example that distraction of the subject matter here means for what they have entered, means for the main purpose of the contract is called as the subject matter. Okay, so A and B are the two parties. A want to means A want the music hall of B for some show. Means A want to perform some singer, A is a singer and he want to perform such some concert there in the music hall, but due to unknown, and B also accept to give his music hall to the A. So both the parties enters into an agreement and A agrees to perform those concert, means singing show in this music hall of B, and B also says that okay, I will give you the music hall. But after entering into an agreement by the both the parties, due to some fire accident, the music hall got burned. Means due to some fire accident, the music hall burned. Means here A cannot perform the obligation of him, and B also cannot give the music hall because it is burned. But whenever they are entering into the contract, this is good, in the good condition only. But after entering into the agreement, this fire accident happened to this music hall. So the here impossibility is creating after the creation of the contract. So whenever the subject matter is distracted, then it becomes the impossibility. If such thing happens, then it is also considered as a discharge by the impossibility, and such contracts cannot be performed by the parties, hence those will become the void. So this is comes under the discharge by the impossibility after creation of the contract. Next one, death or the personal incapacity, personal skills and the qualification of a party. So here Robinson versus Darrison. Here two means here this is a case law. Okay, see this one, this is interesting one. Means if A and B are the two parties, consider with the example, A and B are the two parties. A is a singer or A is a painter. Consider A is a painter and B is a house owner. B is a house owner. So B goes to A and asks that you please paint my house. I will give you 10,000 rupees for one room. So A is a painter, right? He is an artist and he accepts that offer. And so A accepts the B's offer. So A is a painter, B is a house owner. So the B goes to A and asks to paint his house. For one room he will give the 10,000 rupees. But unfortunately due to some accident, A died. A died here. So A's death happened. So due to this, he is a artist, right? His son can perform his obligations. Means a is got died, a died. After a, who will become the responsible? His son will become the responsible, but his son cannot paint like a. So here the personal skills of a is involved here. So if any personal skills of the person involved and that person dies, so that artist, that skills of painting cannot be done by his son. So due to his impossibility, the contract is becoming void, because his son also cannot perform the artistic work of a. That's why it become the impossible. So this is one another, means where the personal incapacity occurs, then the agreements will becomes the void. Okay, so this is one of the impossibility by discharge of impossible. Next one is change of law. Impossibility created by the law is a lawful excuse for non-performance, sale of the oil seeds. Okay, so whenever the law has changed, means whenever the A and B are the two parties, they entered into an agreement. So whenever they entered into an agreement, whatever the rule is there, that is according to that rule only these two parties enter. There is some rule, so according to that some rule, these two parties enters into an agreement. But after these parties entering into an agreement, the rule has been changed. So what is the thing now? If the according to some old rule, these people has been entered into an agreement, but due to some issues, the law has changed that rule into new rule. So whatever the new rule that law has changed, that will be applicable. The old rule will not be applicable here. So hence the agreement between these two parties will become void. So for example, sale of the oil seeds. So A want to sell his, A is a oil seeds seller. So A will say, agrees to sell his oil seeds to B, but and B also accepts, and he want to, he says that if you sell your oil seeds to me, I will give you the rupees 10,000. He will say, who says? B says to A. But the government says that after these two parties enter into an agreement, the government has banned the selling of the oil seeds. Then A cannot sell the oil seeds to B, right? Because the government banned those selling of the oil seeds. So this agreement is also becomes the void. Okay, these two are two examples for this change of law. Okay, and non-existence or the non-occurrence of the particular state of the things. So for example, simply consider here non-existence or non-occurrence of a state of the things, particular state of the. So here better I'll go with the example. Consider A and B are the two parties are there. So A agrees with the B and B agrees with the A. A says to B that I will marry you, and B also accepts his offer. But before the performance of this marriage, before this marriage to each other, A got mad. He get mad. A becomes a mad person. So because of this impossibility, means after agreeing, he becomes the mad. So B cannot marry a mad person, right? That's why this agreement also becomes the void agreement or the impossible agreement, because non-occurrence of particular thing has been happened. The mad happened to A, so this B cannot marry A, right? That's why. So this also becomes the impossible. Next one is declaration of a war. So whenever A and B are the two parties, so these two parties want to sell some, A want to sell this some oil seeds. Consider this example only, oil seeds to B, and B accepts to pay the 10,000 to the A. Okay, for giving for selling the oil seeds. But at the time of the making this contract, there is a good environment between this A belongs to one country and this B belongs to another country. Okay, but both the parties entered into a trade agreement, and this both the parties says that okay, I will give you the oil seeds, I will sell you the oil seeds, and B says that I will pay you 10,000 for your selling of the oil seeds. But after entering into an agreement, the countries there is between these two countries, the war is been declared. So the war declared between both the countries. This agreement between these two parties cannot be performed, because if A or B performs this contract, then these people will become the enemies to their own countries. That's why this cannot be performed. So due to this outbreak of the war, this agreement becomes the void. so they cannot perform this. So if they cannot perform means automatically the contract will become discharged or terminated or cancelled. So these inability or the means this impossibility of performance happening due to this declaration of the war. So whenever the so these are the cases where the impossibility is becoming or impossibility is arising after the formation of the contract. So like this, if this type of impossibilities if created, okay, if existing at the time of the parties, that is known or unknown. So two cases are there in this, okay, in this these many cases are there in this. So if these things impossibility occurs due to the discharge of the contract or the rights and obligations of between the parties will get or discharged due to the impossibility, then it is called as a discharge by the impossibility. And next last one is a discharge by the lapse of the time. Means whenever according to the limitation act 1940 lays down that the contract should be performed within the specific period. Means whenever the contract has to be performed within the specific period only. If the contract is not performed within the specific period, then it will become to an end. Suppose A and B, creditor and debtor are quiet for the recovery of the amount. So there is A is a person. A is a person, gives some amount to the B, and B says that I will pay you this amount within the 2 years. So A says that okay, I will wait up to 2 years, and after 2 years I won't means after 2 years I won't stop you to give me my money. So A accepts with this B's condition. So within these 2 years only, according to the limitation act, within the 2 years only A has to get back his money from the B. Or if he doesn't pay this amount in the 2 years, he has to go to the court and he has to make a file a case on this B. If these two things are not done by the A, then that due to the lapse of the time, means after 2 years he cannot do anything. Within the 2 years only he has to take the action. If that action is not taken, then this agreement becomes discharged. So whenever the lapse of time takes place according to this limitation act, so some rules are there according to this act. So like this, if this not happened, then the contract will get discharged. So this is about the discharge. So so in the previous, this is the third part I think. So like this I have covered 3 parts with the discharge of the contract chapter. This is a big chapter, that's why this much time has been taken by me, and for these 3 videos. So friends, if you like my video, like, share and subscribe to my channel, and if you have any doubts, so please you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.